Ooh. Is it focused? Yeah. I'm going to the post office to pick up the mail because the mailman hasn't been able to deliver our mail because of the snow. And then I'm gonna go to the grocery store to get roses for my mom for Valentine's Day. And I want to do something cool that I saw on the internet with the roses. Wow, look at how pretty all the flowers are. I wish I could like buy them all, to be honest. They're beautiful though.
Yeah, they
But not that bad. I don't know what it is about flowers. They're always so expensive.
not usually. It's usually the mountain. This is pretty hard.
Okay, I just came back from my chores and I got these roses for my mom for Valentine's Day. And like I said, I found this video online where they reflexed the roses. It's basically where you like fold the petals to make the roses look like bigger and bouncier. And the reason why I'm getting them early is because in the video, the guy says to make sure your roses are at least 2 days old for like the petals to like bend and not like break off. So that's why I'm getting them now. And I guess I'm gonna like put them in a vase for the time being. The only part is like I just have to like hide it with these bouquet of roses. And I guess I'll just put them in my room. But at the same time, like I need them to get sunlight. So I'm just gonna figure that out. But yeah, let me show you what I'm talking about.
You want to put your thumb in the center of the petal and use your middle and index finger to kind of flip it within itself. So that way it kind of gives you that look that you're going for. It does take a lot of time and patience, but I'm telling you the end result just looks so good.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna see, I tried to do it on some of the roses at the grocery store and it wasn't really working, so we'll see. But for the time being, let's just put these I got these cute pink ones and I got them because they're still like really tight. So hopefully they like open up soon. Cute. And then I got classic red. I wanted to get like a couple of other colors, but I don't know, they just weren't like doing it for me. I'm going to see if I can like, see, can I do it with these ones? He did it like this. Like push this. Oh, he said like this. And then like this. And then once you get like on the inside, he said to like twist them, which is like the hard part, because then they like tear. Like, see, this is already tearing. Oops. Okay, so see, I don't know if that's actually gonna work out. Maybe they actually do have to be like a couple days old. So, yeah. Let's just organize them right now to be like cute. And even if I don't reflex them, like, they'll still be cute. Right now the red is kind of taking over because, like I said, the pink ones are still pretty like closed. They haven't like bloomed yet, which is why I got it, because like I said, these are technically for Valentine's Day, which is like in a couple days, so I'd rather them not be bloomed yet than bloomed already and then they start to like wilt before I even give them to her. Okay. This is how they look. I don't know, like, you can't really tell that there's pink and red. Well, you can here. It's just because of the lighting.
When did you buy that?
Like 2 days ago.
Oh, where did you keep it?
In my room.
Happy Valentine. Thank you. Oh, wow. If you were any sweeter. Sometimes sour. You'd be a box of chocolate. They love Dominican. Thank you very much.
There's the gift.
Wow. I never received flowers. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Minnie. Okay. Give me a clue.
You can use it.
Huh?
The clue is that they will come in handy on your next trip.
Oh, did you buy that steamer? When will it come?
Tomorrow.
Ah, a water bottle. Ay. Let's see. Oh, an iPod, a speaker.
They're headphones. They're the same as mine. Okay.
A clips?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I think I'm gonna get this. Okay, I am on my way to my friend Emily's house. I'm gonna spend the weekend with her. We're gonna see the Wuthering Heights, and we're just gonna hang out. And I just left Lowe's because she moved into a new place not so long ago, so I'm gonna get her a little plant. Well, I did get her a plant as a housewarming gift. It's so cute. Right? So I'm a little late because I took a nap and I woke up late, so I'll see you guys when I'm there. Hey, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Wow. Happy Valentine's Day. You want a bite?
No.
Hi. I feel like so many of my recent filmings have just been me talking in my bed, but yeah, anyways. This past weekend I hung out with my friend Emily, and I really didn't film much of it just because, like, I don't know, we were just like having fun and like chilling and like not doing much or anything, but like, I don't know, I didn't really feel like getting the camera out because we were just like having fun, you know. And I always want to prioritize like living in the moment. And not to say like it's authentic. I mean, not to say it's not authentic, like when I'm filming, but like, you know, I was just having fun. But it was a really fun weekend. It was Valentine's Day weekend. We saw Wuthering Heights, which neither of us read the book, but we both were like, oh, this is interesting. And like, as I haven't read Wuthering Heights, but I've read like novels from a similar period. Like I've read like Pride and Prejudice. I read The Scarlet Letter. I read Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Away from the Maddening Crowd. So books within like the same genre / period. So even though I haven't read Wuthering Heights, I definitely knew that like this adaptation was like, I don't know, let's just say it took a lot of liberties. Which like, I know everyone's like kind of hating on it, but I watched like, before I watched the movie, I watched some interviews with like Emerald Fennell, who's the director, and she explained like, there's like quotes around Wuthering Heights because she's making a version of Wuthering Heights based on the version that she remembers when she read it as a teenager, and she incorporated things that like she wished would happen or like wanted to happen a certain way. So like I get it, because when you read a book, even though like you're reading the book, you have like your own experience with it, and you can like romanticize it in a certain way, especially when you're older and you like think back at that time when you read it. It kind of like melds into like where you were like then also. And I mean, everyone's being pretty harsh on it, like I get it, but like I thought it was entertaining. Like I thought it was an interesting, you know, hour and a half or however long it was. So I mean, it's on my reading list for this year, so I guess we'll see how I feel after reading the book. But like, I don't know, it was an interesting watch, that's all I'll say. I'm still reading the short stories, but like I'm gonna take a break from it because like, what am I? I'm like halfway through, and not to say that I'm not enjoying it, it's just like some of these stories like just like kind of drone on, and like I literally like don't really know what the hell is happening, and then after I read the short story, like I'll look it up and see like what the hell he was talking about, and then that's where I'm like, oh okay, like yes, like okay, I see, which is like kind of annoying, because like I just like read these stories and I'm like, okay, so like nothing happened. And then I read like about it, and he's like, oh, this meant this, and like when he was talking about this, like he was referencing this, and I'm like, okay, now that I have like the context, like the story's like interesting. It's just like the story's like, rarely the story's ever interesting like while I'm reading it. The story's only ever interesting after I read like what he was trying to say. So it's like a weird read for me, and I'm not really like a short story type of person. I prefer like a book to be like one whole story. So I'm just gonna pause right now because like I don't know, I'm like struggling to get through it right now. So I'm halfway, so I'm gonna move on and I'll come back to it, because I think that's a good way to approach a book of short stories, especially for someone who doesn't read short stories that often. It's like it's something you can pick up and put down a bunch, because you know, you just read like one short story and then you like put it down and then read another one. You don't have to remember everything, you know, for the past 200 pages, so you can come back to it. I'm gonna start this book, West Virginia, which is where I'm from. And I remember when I went to college in New York City. I remember freshman year I went to the Strand with my friends, and I saw a bunch of books, obviously, and I took a picture of like some books that I was like interested in, and that was like when was I was a freshman in college in like 2015, 2016. That was my freshman year. And this was one of the books I saw there, and it was like so funny to me because like I had just moved to New York City, and I like see this book that's like West Virginia, and I found it in my camera roll a couple months ago, and I'm like, hey, like why don't I just read that? So yeah, it's actually like so, it's weirdly like accurate to my life. Like this guy is from West Virginia and he moves to New York City, and he's like called back home to West Virginia because his dad is like suicidal or something. My dad isn't suicidal or anything like that. Like that part isn't accurate, but just like the journey of like being from West Virginia, moving to New York City, and then like coming back for reasons is like basically what's happening in my life right now. So I'm interested to see like what this book is, you know. I am a believer in sometimes like books like sit on your shelf for years until like it's time for you to read it, and where this book like wasn't on my shelf for years, it was in my camera roll for years. And it's so interesting that like after what 25, literally more than 10 years later, now I'm finally like, wait, I'm gonna read this, and I bought it. So I'll let you know how it is. It's pretty short. It's like what, like 200-ish pages? Yeah, like 211 pages, so it'll be pretty short, but yeah, I'll let you know how I feel. As for this, I will, like I said, I'll come back to it. And like my favorite story from this so far is in the penal colony. I think that was like the only story where I was like actually like, oh my god, like it was like a page turner, you know. I read The Metamorphosis, which is like, if you don't know Kafka, you probably know The Metamorphosis. It's like his magnum opus. When people talk about Kafka, it's usually The Metamorphosis. And to be honest, I didn't really like it. Like, again, it's one of those things where it's like I read it and then I like looked up online and I read up about it, and that's where I was more like, okay, like I like the message and I like the meaning, but like the actual story, I was like kind of bored. But yeah, the only in the penal colony was actually like one of the page turners for me. And apparently it's one of his most classic tales. According to this book, The Metamorphosis, In the Penal Colony, and A Hunger Artist are his like 3 most famous short stories. So I haven't read A Hunger Artist yet, so maybe I'll like that. So yeah. Also, I basically also figured out how to record gaming while I was at my friend Emily's house. It took me like 3 hours to figure out how to like set up the camera, set up the audio, to screen record, download all the programs that you need, like blah blah. And we did a little we did like maybe like 30 minutes of of the first 30 minutes of Silent Hill Homecoming. But we were just using my webcam's microphone to record audio. So like us talking, watching it back, like you can hear us, but like it's not the best sound quality. And I do have like a DJI microphone, but I didn't have a like USB to connect it to my laptop. It does have like an iPhone attachment, which I guess I could probably like, I guess you like record using your iPhone, and then I guess you can like export the audio file. I just like didn't really think of it at the time, and because like it just took so long to set up or whatever. Like it was our first time, my first time and her first time like ever doing anything like this. So I definitely think if I use the DJI microphone, like our voice audio will be better. Again, I just need to figure out how to do it all on the screen recording program. But yeah, I'm excited to start that. I don't want to continue the Silent Hill playthrough without her. I kind of want it to be like a thing that we do together as like friends, but I saw on Steam, which is where I got the Silent Hill Homecoming, they are having a sale for the Resident Evil games, and they have a bundle of the Resident Evil 1 original, Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, and I don't know if it has 5 or 6 or 7. I think it's like a remake bundle, and I think they might have Resident Evil 0 in there. But it's like all those games for like $36 because it's on sale. And I'm the sale's until February 26th. So I think I'm gonna get that. And since I want to do those like by myself because like she already played all of them anyways. But I think that would be really fun. I've already played a Resident Evil 0 on the PS4. Like they released a Resident Evil 0 / Resident Evil 1 like remastered for the PS4. And I played Resident Evil 0 and it was so fun. Like I haven't played many Resident Evil games. I only played 0, 5, Revelations, and Revelations 2. So I'm excited to play the 2, 3, 4 remakes. But Resident Evil 0 is like when Resident Evil was still like in the survival horror genre, and it hadn't really like fully switched over to like kind of like a, I mean, I guess the Resident Evil games more now are like a first person shooter with like horror elements into it. But Resident Evil 0 was definitely like survival horror, and it was so fun. It was so fun. Resident Evil 1, girl, I could not get into that because the inventory thing in there, no. Like, you cannot tell me I'm going to be walking back and forth through hella fucking halls just to drop off an item so I can carry another item. You know, like I'm not doing that. If they make a Resident Evil 1 remake without that fucking feature, like, yeah, I'll make it. But like, I remember after I played 0, I was like, okay, I play 1 now, and it was all that, and I was like, no. And it's because Resident Evil 0, even though it's like the first canonically story in Resident Evil, it happens basically like the night before Resident Evil 1. It was made after Resident Evil 1. It was like a prequel that was made after. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna play the remakes. I'm really excited because I heard all really good things about all the remakes. So yeah.